Hi there, I hope that you're well. I wanted to record a little talking segment because I don't think I filmed much this week so far, and I'm going away for 3 days with a friend from tomorrow to Saturday, so I will be filming, but it's not going to be my usual content, and I wanted to give you some context about that. So we're going away for 3 days to Bologna, which is a city here in Italy. I've been to twice before, one as a kid, as a really small kid, and I do not remember anything from that. And then one like 4 years ago, and I have very vague memories about that time. So I'm excited to go back. I remember it as a very beautiful city, but I don't remember any details. So that's going to be cool. There's a lot of art exhibitions that we want to go and see as well, which is lovely. And I thought I'd show you what I'm bringing with me in terms of like journaling and art supplies, because I don't know, I thought it might be interesting. So I'm not gonna bring my planner with me. I've got it over here just because realistically I'm not gonna be doing any of this while I'm away, but I did want to bring my commonplace book in case I want to do any kind of journaling, especially I'm thinking like on the train ride back is like a 3-hour journey, so if I've collected any like scraps or business cards or anything that I might want to stick in, I'll put them in here. I'm also, in a moment, I'm gonna write down a list of places that we want to see. I have that on my phone, but that's just gonna get deleted eventually, so I want to write it down so I have a physical copy of it as well. And then I'm probably gonna journal daily about what we do when we're there, and this is a really just good place to put any like flyers and stuff that we might pick up. So in the back I just got a few pencils, my usual writing pen, and a couple of paper clips, plus I also got an extra SD card. I always carry 2 around when I'm traveling because if one if there's something wrong with one or it gets full, I'd rather have 2. And that's really about it. It's a very simple setup. I try to like keep it as minimal as possible so I don't have to carry a very heavy bag around with me. And then in terms of drawing supplies, I think I'm mostly going to be drawing, and that's just what I'm gonna bring around with me like on the day. But then I think I'm hoping to get a little bit of time like in the evening to do some painting maybe, and so I am bringing some watercolor paper. I just have a few like loose bits of paper that I'll carry around for drawing. These are just, I'd say like 150, maybe 200 GSM paper, and this is really nice to just draw on. I really like the texture. And then I have just a block of watercolor paper for gouache painting. I don't know if I'll carry this around with me or if I'll leave it at the Airbnb that we're staying at, but we'll see about that. I don't think I'm gonna bring my gouache paint around with me on the day though, so really I'm probably only going to bring this around to have a backing board to like be able to comfortably draw on. And then in terms of gouache, I went with like the most minimal palette I could think of that wouldn't leave me without colors like I did when I went to Nice, because I was completely missing a yellow and a black when I went there. So I think this is a fairly good like basic palette, but also none of these are necessarily priming colors. It's just the basic colors that I like to use normally. And with that, I'm bringing my like empty travel palette. I've had this for a good few years. It's pretty banged up. It doesn't really like close anymore unless you tie it with a rubber band. But I cleaned it this morning so I can just squeeze fresh paint into it. And again, I don't think I'll bring that around with me because I don't think I'll have a lot of time to paint on location, but it's fine, I'll take photos. And then a bunch of paintbrushes. I'll do some fairly small painting, so it's mostly just smaller paintbrushes, and everything fits pretty neatly into this bag, everything except the palette. So I also have like a pencil sharpener. I would bring a small one if I had one, but I don't, so we're gonna have to deal with a massive one. Spray water bottle. This is a great solution for like painting on the go if you don't want to bring like a jar of water, which then could potentially spill and stuff. This is a great solution. I've used it a bunch of times before. And paper clips. These are always handy, so I just keep a couple in here. And everything fits in here, which is lovely. I could realistically bring this around with me, but we're gonna be walking a lot, and like I'm not gonna be painting at a museum and stuff, so I don't know if it really makes sense for me to carry this around. I guess we'll see how that goes. I'll try to film as much as possible, but you know, I don't know how much of the actual drawing process I'll be able to capture. I'll definitely do a little bit of a flip through of the drawings I've done once I come back, and that'll be nice. So this is my kit. I think it's fairly compact. Realistically, it's the same I would bring if I were away for like a week or 10 days, but you know, I find short trips a lot harder to pack for than longer trips. But yeah, that's all right. And then something else that I wanted to show you was this. I think I showed at the end of last week's video that I picked up a few books from my own bookshelf back home. And I've always been a really big book reader, both in like primary school and high school and stuff. And it's just been something that I really, really enjoyed. I think it was my main like hobby as a kid. But then painting started becoming a thing, and like during high school I still had the time and the energy at night before going to sleep to read. Right now I realistically don't, and it comes down to choosing between whether I want to read or paint, and like there's no comparison, like that's not even a question. Obviously I'm gonna go for painting, and so reading has really been put on the back burner for me for a couple of years. Last year I only read one book, and that was a reread of one of my favorite books, which I'm happy with. Like I reread books a lot, but still I'd like to read a bit more, but I don't really have the energy at all to read the kind of books that I like to read when I get home from uni and stuff. So I haven't been doing that, but since I have a few free days and like 2-3 hour train rides ahead of me, I thought I'd pick one up. And this is just a short stories collection from Oscar Wilde, which is possibly my favorite writer. I really like reading classics, which is not great because they require a lot of brain power, but also they're just so beautiful. And I know that his writing style was really captivating for me, and it really it's something that's very easy for me to continue picking up. And I think with it being short stories as well, it's probably nicer because if I'm reading like a longer book or like a series and stuff, it's very easy for me to get to the end and have no idea what happened at the beginning. But with short stories, obviously that doesn't really happen. So I thought this was a good choice to ease me back into things. And I wanted to briefly talk about it because, you know, I am really enjoying it. So shout out to that, in case anyone was looking for a book recommendation. But yeah, this was a bit random. I hope you didn't mind. I hope you've enjoyed the video so far, and I hope that you enjoy it going forward. It's a bit different from usual, but I'll try to make it as like drawing and painting heavy as I can. And yeah, I hope that you're doing well. I'll see you soon.